having Harriet Lowenthal as our speaker. If you checked out her bio, then you already know that she is one of our career strategists and executive coaches, and as such, provides guidance and developmental coaching to enhance members' effectiveness. Among other things, she brings to today's program years of experience in both executive development as well as talent management. Over the years, she's consulted with a veritable who's who in the corporate world, such as Caterpillar, Hallmark Cards, Amex, Eli Lilly, GM, and Boeing, just to name a few. On the educational front, she earned both her undergraduate and master's degree in psychology and counseling education at Southern California. And this is just some of the background that she brings with her today as she focuses on one of the most critical aspects for any of us making a career change, and I'm referring, of course, to interviewing. And to that end, I am more than happy to say welcome, Harriet, and turn things over to you.
Well, thank you, Dave. My pleasure, and I'm delighted to be able to speak with our members today. And I'm coming from the perspective of what most people have assumed or even have relied upon in the past for successful interviewing may not be the best strategies moving forward. And so in my cynical manner, what you think you know about executive level interviewing, it's wrong, is what I've entitled the presentation and webinar. So here's what we're going to do. I want to explore 7 common myths and beliefs that I believe we have all sort of bought into over the years, and also to share my insights from many years of being around the interviewing and selection space. And that would include on the client side or corporate side, designing corporate-wide selection systems, working with succession planning and management. On the consulting side, working with executives for traditional assessments and personality exams, and also leading C-level selection processes on the consulting side, as well as training interviewers, interviewing and preparing executives for being interviewed. So I've sort of looked at this from a lot of different perspectives. And my job today is really to leave you with a few tangible suggestions and advice for interviewing and a bit beyond, because it's hard to just focus on one tiny aspect, though important, of the whole process. So let's start about that process with myth number 1. It's all about my resume. If they did blank, they must be really good at blank. So if you did sales, you must be really good at sales. Not necessarily true. So let's back up for a moment.
Okay. And this is tied to a question that we have. We were just sort of talking about a little bit about resume length and so forth. This guy wants to know, he says, I've used a long CV-style resume for universities and so forth and a short 2- to 3-pager for others. Is that accurate, or are universities and other types of sort of educational type institutions moving towards shorter resumes?
Thank you for your question. The universities, we have found, because of the nature of just how business works and having business knowledge and business savvy, a number of them do appreciate sort of that more business or corporate kind of approach, in addition to sort of your CV. Now we're back to know your target audience. Your primary resume that you might use may in fact have a more business focus. You may comment or include in your cover letter that a more traditional educational CV or additional detail is available upon request or some such thing. Most individuals that come to us with more of an educational or academic or scientific kind of CV, we do end up shortening it and moving it into more of the business corporate presentation. And then again, supplement that with anything else that may be useful. But certainly the 6+ pages that includes publications and patents and so on and so forth, those are not going to get read. So front-loading and making certain that you have a clear, concise summary of your value, of your career, etc., is what's most important.